CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Havana calling. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Radio Havana calling all shortwave listeners and radio amateurs. Welcome to DXers Unlimited, Radio Havana's weekly feature dedicated to the fascinating world of radio communications.
Hola, mis amigos radio aficionados all around the world are now counting also another amateur radio operator aboard the International Space Station, the ISS. He's Bob Beacon, spelled Bravo Echo Hotel Nancy Kilo Echo Nancy. His call sign Kilo Echo 5 GGX. That's Kilo Echo 5 Golf Golf X-ray. He's already in orbit and will probably soon will be operating from the space station. And your hosts are now Ronnie Coro here in Havana. My radio call sign CO2KK. More coming up. Now here is our second Radio Havana news item for today. The new amateur 40 MHz band is already in use, and new records are made in Europe every day. What we also known as the 8 meters band has attracted a lot of attention from VHF experimenters during the summer sporadic E season. Lithuania to Ireland two-way contacts are an example of what can be achieved on the 8 meters band during the summer sporadic E season now in progress. Lima Yankee 2 Yankee Romeo LY2YR completes contact with S50B for another first on the new 40 MHz band. At the end of April 2020, LY2Y Romeo LY2YR in Lithuania made a contact with Echo India 4 Golf Nancy Bravo, that's EI4 Golf Nancy Bravo in Ireland for the first Lima Yankee to Echo India QSO on the new 40 MHz amateur band. Hintest is the name of LY2YR, it's handled Hintest. Achieved another first on the 30th of June, just a few days ago, when they worked the route S50 Bravo in Slovenia using the FT8, FT4, and CW modes. The frequency used was 40,000.680 MHz, which is in the middle of the international space megahertz. The contact between LY2YR and S50B was approximately 1,270 kilometers, and the propagation mode was sporadic without doubt. Even though the distance is pretty normal for sporadic, there were some difficulties due to some 1,000-meter high mountains just a few kilometers away from the station at S50 Bravo location. We must wait and see what will happen in ITU Region 2, the Americas, where telecommunications authorities have not yet given their approval or permission to the new 8 meters band already used by European radio amateurs. Item 2, good news about the rich history of amateur radio in the Caribbean, where amateur radio plays a vital role during the hurricane seasons every year. Radio Club Dominicano's 94th anniversary. The International Amateur Radio Union Region 2 reports June 12, 2020 marks the 94th anniversary of the founding of the Radio Club Dominicano by Dr. Carlos Regus, Hotel India 8 Charlie Romeo. In 1908, three young men were captivated by the new communications methods of the time, radio, yes, and in 1921, Dr. Regus and two friends and classmates who shared a lot of passion for amateur radio met at Abreu No. 21 Street in the Blanca Today sector of San Carlos in the Dominican Republic capital, and they established the amateur Radio Club Dominicano. Has been active ever since, carrying the principles of the founder and president emeritus Regus, promoting and developing amateur radio service and collaborating with the relief institutions when they needed services, especially during the hurricane season and also during earthquake and other problems with public safety. They offer always support in emergency situations when needed. Yes, mis amigos, this is Radio Havana Cuba. I'm Ronnie Coro, celebrating the 59th anniversary of our station way back in 1961, when we went on the air on the 24th of February of 1961. That day our station started to broadcast on a daily basis under the name Onda Corta Experimental Cubana. Was our first name, Onda Corta Experimental Cubana, or Cuban Experimental Shortwave in English. 2 weeks later, on the first day of May 1961, was when we first used our present name, Radio Havana Cuba, on the air. That is part of history of radio. As a matter of fact, it's a very important part of the history of radio in Cuba and in the Americas. The worldwide effects of the COVID-19 pandemic are felt by amateur radio operators that, like yours truly, had to stay at home following the national emergency in effect here in Cuba and many other countries around the world. I have dedicated more time in the evenings to DXing on the classic AM broadcast band, and it proved to be worthwhile because several weak signals were lost, especially between 4 o'clock in the morning local time and the local sunrise. That's the spot, the time slot ideal for DXing on the AM broadcast band. As expected, stations located to the west of the Havana Cuba monitoring post produced a peak in signal intensity just at the moment that sun was barely a few degrees above the horizon. Another interesting observation was possible when I did not need to go to sleep early was the propagation conditions on the AM medium wave broadcast band was not uniform at all. From my local sunset to my local midnight, conditions changed up and down a lot. Yet another night's result of monitoring showed that my newly built long to right rod antenna was able to pick up much stronger signals than was possible with any of my 3 portable radios internal ferrite rods, including the CC Crane radio, an excellent receiver by the way, an old Russian Vega with VEF-206, and a Greenwich Jack Boy more than 30 years old. I have yet to repair my old nice Drake receiver that is used with an external antenna tunable loop. That's here in the waiting list. See, amigos, the AM broadcast band always fascinates me because on that region of the radio spectrum was where I heard my first DX station on my first one single vacuum tube regenerator receiver, using, in this case, a 22.5 volt hearing aid battery for the plate supply to the 3S4 tube type and a size D 1.5 volts battery for the filament supply. And that was around 1954 or so. Pues amigos, this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience that I will never forget. The experience came from a little more than 90 miles away from Havana, where still in existence WKWF 1600 kHz station sends from Key West, Florida. My previous experimental regenerative radio pickup in Havana XCM2 on 630 kHz and Radio Progreso on the frequency of 690 kHz. That was way back in 1954, but it failed to have enough gain to bring in the DX. I later discovered that my first one-tube radio was acting as a straight-tuned radio frequency stage receiver, and not as a very sensitive regenerative circuit that I was expecting it to work well. I counted with the advice of my amateur radio mentor, my neighbor Dr. Ignacio Diaz-Perez CM2BK, to change the circuit of the straight RF radio frequency receiver tuned TRF to a regenerative or much more sensitive. By the way, my latest version of the regenerative receiver is built using the case and additional tuning circuits from a VC221 worldwide 2 frequency meter, excellent capacitor and tuning dial. All I can say is that circuit is my dream regenerative tuning dial. All I can say about this new one is it's my dream regenerative recovering from 500 kHz to 2000 kHz for AM broadcast band DXing. What a radio. See you all at the upcoming weekend edition of DXers Unlimited, and please tell me your opinions about this and other RHC programs by sending an email to info.rhc@inet.cu. Again, info.rhc@inet.cu, or via airmail, send your letters and postcards to Arnie Coro, Radio Havana Cuba, Havana, Cuba.
And that's all for today. This is Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur CO2KK, your host here at Radio Havana's DXers Unlimited, saying 73 and very good DX.
Thanks, Arnie Coro, DXers Unlimited, heard every week here, twice a week, actually, the weekend edition on Sundays and Mondays, UTC days, as Arnie said, and the midweek edition that you just heard now, DXers Unlimited, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, UTC days. And tune to RHC, Radio Havana Cuba.